Yes, guys. Ryjack back for another stream. We are here. We are excited. Should be a good one. A couple of things to discuss. We won't go too long. I don't have all night this evening, do a 2 hour marathon with you guys. But I wanted to stream. I wanted to come on and discuss what's been going on. Of course, Gold Drips, as always, in the chat very early. Welcome. How are you? Buddy, good to see you, of course. If you guys are new, obviously hit subscribe, hit like, get active in the chat. I do appreciate all of the interactions and everything. Channel is doing very well. We are over 920 subs on the channel, so less than 80 to that big 1,000 subs. That'll be pretty cool when we hit that. That'll be pretty cool for sure. Few things to discuss on the stream. I would say notably, we have Oscar Bobb news to go over. We have the Trent Alexander-Arnold links to check out. And then I think we need to take a look at the Premier League title race with Arsenal dropping points at the weekend, letting the gap close, of course. So, and if there's other things you guys want to talk about in the chat, just put it in there and we will chop it up with the boys. It'll be a good good hangout this evening. He says, nice win. Yeah, nice win for City at the weekend, 2-0 over Wolves. Very happy with that. Can't complain. Was it the best performance? Probably not, but, I kind of was hoping we stopped the bleeding, per se, after the United horror show and then the Bodo Glimt disaster class, Pep almost copied your team. I was one player off, guys. One player off. And to be fair, it's because I said Nunez wouldn't play because Pep said Nunez wouldn't play, and then he was playing, and then he played him. So if it wasn't for Pep, I had that on 100%. I had it 100% on. Anyway, let me pull up Twitter here, which might take a second here to load. Bang, there it is. Twitter. Oscar Bobb. This came out this morning. Full verbal agreement with Fulham. Oscar Bobb. Final details technically still getting sorted, but the move is going to be a permanent one. Transfer fee in the region of £35 million. Maybe 40. Deal done soon, says Florian Plettenberg, who is decent. This source is not a bad source. Solid, decent source. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's not. He's very good with German stuff, so I don't know, maybe how he knows the Fulham stuff, but whatever. Vitor Hayes was good today. I did see his goal. I was actually watching the game. Big goal for Vitor Hayes to get the draw. He looks so good on the ball, Vitor Hayes. I really like him. Really like Vitor Hayes. But yeah, Bobb basically is a done deal going to Fulham. Kind of sad for me. I'm a big Oscar Bobb fan, but obviously this was happening. We knew basically for the majority of this year this wasn't going to work out. Strasbourg Steve says, sup, bro? How are you? Buddy, good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, the Oscar Bobb thing. I saw a tweet here. Oscar Bobb has played a full 90 minutes in the Premier League 3 times. 35 million seems expensive. I mean, I can't lie. 35 million is pretty shocking to me. I don't want to say floored because he's got potential. He's a City Academy graduate. Those players tend to go for big money. Palmer went for 40, I don't know, whatever that was, 3 years ago. So it's not crazy. It's not crazy that this is happening, but there's no way if I was Fulham, I would be dropping 35 mil on Oscar Bobb. I personally think Oscar Bobb is going to do well for them, but I cannot get my head around 35 mil. What are your predictions on Wednesday against Gala? We can get into that in a bit. I'm not sure. I have to really think about the team because it depends on what you want to do. If you want to full send the team, if you want to semi-rotate, I honestly I haven't thought enough about the Galatasaray game, but we can discuss. 35 million is a ton of money. That's where I'm kind of at. I think it's a ton of cash for Fulham to put down on the table. And maybe we'll get the final details and it'll be like 25 with 10 mil in add-ons or something. But 35-40 tells me there's no buyback here. Maybe we get a nice little sell on fee if he does really well at Fulham and gets a big move again. But if you sell this guy for 40 million, your buyback is going to be like 100 million. What's the point? Like, I don't know if 100 million buyback is going to be a thing. I think it's a good deal for all parties. I mean, it is a good deal for Oscar Bobb for sure, because he's not going to play. He's not going to play at City over these wingers that we have. Even if I personally think he is better than Jeremy Doku or better than Savinho, Pep clearly does not, and that's the opinion that matters. Pep is playing Doku, Pep is playing Savinho, Pep is playing Bernardo right wing, Pep is playing Cherki on the wing, Semenyo on the wing. They're all ahead of Bobb. Bobb is last in the pecking order, so it makes sense for him to leave. There's been, those comments about his injury situation. Again, I don't really blame the guy. Like, he can't go out there and play and get injured and then not move. Like, he needs to play so he can go to the World Cup. It is what it is. I feel like Bobb is going to be a wonder kid if other teams sign him and give him more game time. YX Mala, I'm with you. I always thought that he would be our best right wing option this season. I was wrong, didn't happen, but I do feel like he's a bit hard done with the injury situation. So, semi-unfortunate, man. Semi-unfortunate. I mean, even here, Gradient Sports is a good follow as well on Twitter. They always have really good analytic stats and stuff. Featured heavy in the first 9 games. He graded above his positional average in passing and ball carrying, which, it's not really something that is debatable. Like, he's good at passing and ball carrying. It's just that final third. Was he good enough in that area? Was he aggressive enough? Did he take enough risks? And I feel like that's where it was personally lacking on Bobb. It's Cherki that showed Bobb the door. Cherki took his chance. Bobb didn't. And this is true. Like, obviously, Cherki's better than Oscar Bobb is at present. Cherki is younger than Bobb, and he's doing what he's doing. So clearly that he did not take advantage of the minutes he had. And he did have minutes early in this season. I know it was a long time ago, so sometimes people forget the minutes that Bobb had, but he was our starting winger, first game of the year. Started the second game against Spurs, and then it was just, sub appearances here and there with a maybe a start, but it just was not really happening for Bobb. So I get it. It is what it is. Bobb is out the door in January. Hope he does well. I do. 35 mil as well is so good. Look, there's a tweet from me back in December. This is the day he got injured as well. Unbelievable. I was so excited when he started the Leverkusen game, man. Oh, it's funny because I just searched Oscar Bobb on Twitter just to see these links come out. And my tweet there from December of this year. I've backed bro since day one. I still believe. And then 10 minutes into the game, you get an injury. Oh, that's brutal. Cherki at past, present, and future will always be better. So sorry, it's not even close. I agree. Cherki's clearly a better player than Oscar Bobb. And that is what it is, man. That is I have moved on. I have a semi-agenda towards Bobb because I really thought he would be good, but it is what it is. He is out the door, and there's really not much you need to even say about it. He's out, and he does well, cool. If not, whatever, All Things Football says, yo. It's a gamble to sell young players, but they can be Palmer or McAtee. Nobody knows. So always put the buyback of around 80 million. I mean, I wouldn't be upset if there was a buyback. I just don't think a buyback is even realistic for, unless you want to buy him back and sell him for profit. And I feel like that's just unlikely. I'd rather have a nice, good percentage of sell on if he does really well at Fulham. And then any sale, we get some more cash that way. He put the nail in the coffin in the Leverkusen game. He was so poor. It wasn't good, and then he got hurt on top of that. So, I mean, you never know how that game would have turned out. Maybe he could have done something throughout the game, but he did get hurt, and that's that. Penguin has entered the chat as well. So that's all we need to really talk about Oscar Bobb. The next category of discussion, Trent Alexander-Arnold. What do you guys think? In the chat, let me know your thoughts on Trent to Manchester City, potentially in the summer. Some people have suggested in this January window, I would be floored if that happens because he's injured. So that doesn't make any sense to me. Trent to City in January is basically impossible. Trent to City in the summer, there might be something there. There might be something there. I posted a TikTok about it, but I think TikTok is broken because it's not working whatsoever. So we can just talk about it here. Evening, House Captain. He says, Ryjack and chat, evening. Yes, sir. How are you? Hope you're doing well. As always, good to see you. Graham Bailey, by the way, pretty good source. Decent source, I must say. He was the one who broke the Savinho news over on Martin's channel on Mancunian Way back in the summer. When was that? In the summer. Graham Bailey was that guy. Team Talk, I always say, is kind of an okay source. It's not great, but personally, I think Graham Bailey's pretty good. This doesn't say City are signing him. It just says they're keeping tabs on his situation as uncertainty grows. And that was yesterday, like morning. This came out. Keely says, what's up, Ryjack? Hope you and the family are well, brother. Good to see you again. Yes, good to see you, Keely. Family is doing well. My daughter had her 2-month baby appointment today, so that went well. She did get her shots. She did cry quite a bit, but that's okay. The ultimate piss boiling, would love it. Honestly, the biggest positive of this signing, bar the fact that we know Trent is a good Premier League proven right back and would improve the team, is the how upset Liverpool fans would be. They would be so angry, so aggressive on Twitter. That would be peak. That would be peak. That would be the best part of the transfer to me. That would be fantastic. I think the Premier League has changed and is going more physical, so he would struggle. He would be great 5 to 7 years ago. Is he better than Nunes? It's a good question. I mean, I think at present, I would probably say Trent is better than Matheus Nunes. Nunes is probably a little bit more athletic. He's pacier for sure. He's maybe a bit better one-on-one defensively, because we all know Trent's not good defensively, but what Trent offers offensively, it definitely outmatches what Nunes can offer offensively. We like Nunes because he's got a decent cross on him. Trent has one of the best crosses on him in the Premier League. Of any Englishman in the world, Trent's got that cross. So I don't mind. I don't mind this link. Another thing, he's fantastic on free kicks. We have not had a free kick specialist necessarily other than KDB. He is gone. Trent would be fantastic on free kicks for us. I'm down for this transfer. I'm down for this transfer personally. Love to hear it. Time flying. Bro, feels like just yesterday she was born and now we're at the 2 months. So absolutely. Spartacus says this Trent thing is not fake. Hey, I don't think it's fake either. I mean, it's almost unrealistic to even suggest this is fake because all it says is they're keeping tabs on him. They're keeping tabs, which they're probably doing on hundreds of players around Europe, you know? There's not like whoa, this team is keeping tabs on him. That's breaking news. Like, I'm sure they're keeping tabs on many players. And if you're Man City and you need a right back and potentially Trent, one of the better English right backs in the world, becomes available, you have to do your due diligence. You have to. Yeah, thoughts on the Trent links? I'm in, guys. What's the maximum you'd pay for Trent? He's homegrown. I wouldn't want to pay mega cash, to be honest. Like, it probably would cost quite a bit. But I would be like, Madrid would probably want quite a bit as well. But, you know, Livramento money, that like 70 mil, I feel like you can't do because he's 27 years old. Gonna be 28 soon. I'd be looking at like 50, maybe 50 mil, something like that for Trent. If they want to go push to 70, I think that might be difficult for City to do. Yeah, the this means more thing, like, at the end of the day, if he comes to City and he cooks, will anyone care? Will anyone care that he used to say it meant more to win at Liverpool? Like, not really. You know, Kyle Walker had those comments about how he would have loved to win one at Spurs and he'd give one away at City. I know people don't like that and annoys you, but like, so what? He won them at City. It's not like we're giving them back, actually, you know? So, I don't really care. Trent left on the free and people question his, like, integrity or whatever. Again, he was at the club for 20 years and they had a contract and they paid him handsomely and he did a great service to the club. Like, he can leave on a free if he wants to leave on a free. That's how it works. In America, we have free agency, and people leave on. There are no transfer fees. There's trades, but I mean, people leave on a free all the time here, so it's not that big a deal to me. We all know Pep and how he's with players he adores. True, that's a good point. Marmouche is a free kick specialist. I didn't really think of Marmouche, to be honest, but Marmouche, to be fair, is a free kick specialist, but how many free kicks has he actually taken for City? I feel like not that many. I bet it's less than 7. I bet it's less than 7 free kick attempts he's taken. Off the top of my head, I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. I'm going to say it. This was a story leaked by Trent because he was told he isn't going to play for the new manager. Interesting, Spartacus. Maybe that's true. I don't know. Does this new manager, though, I've been told this new manager is just an interim and he's not actually going to get the job full time. So, like, does he actually have the authority to tell a player he's not going to play if he's only going to be there for 6 months? Like, I don't know how that works exactly. I take Trent for under 70 if possible. He's quality and homegrown, would be worth the price, assuming we get the years out of him. Unsure if the club would approach a deal of that price, though. I feel like 70 is pushing it a bit just because he's not old, but, you're not getting a 23-year-old where you're going to have approaching prime. He's like at prime. He should be at prime right now, at present. 27, 28, 29, prime. We're already there. And there's no real sell-on value, probably. How much will he cost and what salary will he demand? And is he getting more injuries in the last 18 months? I mean, injuries happen. Like, we got injuries all over the place, but was he really injury prone at Liverpool? I feel like he wasn't really injury prone. I don't know. He can pick a pass from anywhere, but you must have a pacey right-sided center back next to him. No defensive output. Great point, but maybe that opens the door for Husanov to play quite a bit because he's obviously got recovery, speed. He may not be great going forward, Husanov, which is why I don't really like him at right back. But if you have Trent there doing this like Nunez job where you can bomb up and down and even potentially invert into the midfield like we've done in the past, I just think Trent is such a Pep-coded player. Like, I would take him for sure, and I'm almost certain Pep would be like, yes, Hugo, bring Trent, obviously. Like, obviously, Pep, I think, would take him over Nunez. And I think Nunez has done a really good job, but you see the impact when Nunez doesn't play, we look awful. So you really do need a second right back. If it's Trent, if it's a young player who can, challenge Nunez in a year, maybe we do that as well. Maybe it makes more sense to get Javario Reed, but surely Trent is someone that you consider. If this is a thing, you definitely consider it. As the season progresses and he gets less playing time for Madrid, he may want to jump ship, one to monitor. That's what I'm saying. We're just monitoring. We're monitoring at this point. There's no, he's actually getting, there's no bid or anything like that. City have not talked to Madrid. It's just monitor season. Trent is on 315,000 euros a week, which is a hefty whack. It's quite a bit, I can't lie. He would have to get, considerable wages at City, but to me, the wages are what the wages are going to be. I don't really care. If we have the most expensive wages in the world and we win all the time, I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. I don't think this link are just PR. How can an interim manager decide that? Club is run by Papa Perez, so I don't think so. That's what I mean. I don't know how the interim guy has the juice to say that. Like, Trent, I know Madrid just bought you. We paid 10 mil to get you a month early instead of a free, but you're out of my plans. Like, who are you to make plans? You're the interim, bro. I don't think you make decisions here. I would go for a young, up-and-coming right back. If we do that, I think that is probably the Javario Reed guy. Maybe it's the Cayude guy from Brentford. There's been links to him. But Trent is at present probably better than both of them. So I'm down on this Trent thing. Trent and Semenyo on the right could benefit off each other. Yeah, that would be nice, man. I like the idea of Trent inverting into the midfield. I've said that forever. Like, Trent would be a great Pep right back. Plus, we don't even have to defend that much in a Pep system. Typically, we have the ball 70% of the time. There's not a whole lot of defending necessarily to do. Like, we don't get pinned back, really. Husanov beside Trent would be a disaster. Trent would highlight Husa's lack of positioning and game awareness. I mean, Husanov does need to improve in his positioning, which is why that's one thing I've been critical of him. I'm just saying, if you need a pacey right back, right-sided center back to cover for Trent's, being so far forward, Husanov's probably the best option we have, because Diaz is not going to be that guy. You're not going to play Yasko on the right side. I guess you could play Gahey there, but if you want a pacey right-sided center back to cover for Trent's bombing up the pitch per se, you might have to do Kusanov, and ideally he will improve in his positioning and game awareness. The coach will have the license to do it until the end of the season, and Trent doesn't want to be out of the England squad. I don't know. I don't know if the manager, if you're an interim at Madrid, if you can make up these decisions. I don't know. I mean, maybe he's not going to play the rest of this 6 months, and Trent wants to go to the World Cup, and that's what we're talking about. I guess that's possible. If Viana can pull this deal off for a low fee like Gahey, it could be a steal. I don't care who players once played for if they improve our squad. Agree. House captain, I don't care about your past. I don't really care. What can you do for City? Can you make us better? Can you get us some goals? Can you prevent some goals? What can you do? How are you an asset to my club? That's what's important to me. Unless you're like a criminal. We'll go there. Like, if you're a criminal, maybe not. Maybe not. But other than that, I'm all in. I'm all in. Husanov is certainly a project. He over-relies on his pace and has a lot of brain farts. He knows he can rely on that pace, so I feel like a lot of times he is out of position because he knows he can get there, and occasionally that burns us. That burns us occasionally. Like, he'll lunge in for a tackle thinking he can get there with his pace, and he'll miss it, and then he's got to make this insane recovery run, and everyone's like, wow, look at Husanov's crazy pace on display. But, like, if you just don't make this lunge attempt, you don't even need that in the first place. Yeah, Spartacus was cooking with that a little bit. He was cooking with that a little bit, guys. Decision making isn't good. Yo, what's up, Teal? How are you? I see a ton of talent, but he has very limited professional minutes. Lots to learn. Yeah, I'm in. Don't see us beating Galatasaray. Our midfield is shambolic. Oshman, Gundo, and Sane will eat us alive. Teal joined the stream and was immediately talking about losing. Come on, bro. Where's the positivity? He doesn't have it good either. Unsure if anyone said it, but a lot of Husanov's praise is coming from him making up for his own error. That's what we're just talking about. Yep, spot on, Keely, spot on. I can't remember which game it was, but the exact thing happened in the watch-along where we're watching it, and Kusanov right around the midfield area, lunges in, doesn't get there, makes a great recovery run, and it's like, just don't lunge in. If you can't get it, you don't get it, I think personally City fans are too divided on Husa than any other player of the squad. Half says he's mega, half says he is poo. Yeah, the Kusa thing is very strange, for sure. Holland and Foden are out of form as well. Won't be easy. I mean, it won't be easy. This Galatasaray game is not going to be a walk in the park. That's for sure. That is for sure. If we want to talk about Galatasaray before we do Premier League, I mean, that probably makes sense, like, chronologically, just because the game is in a couple of days. It is on Wednesday. So let me pull this up here. What I'm semi-concerned about is, even if we win this game, it does not guarantee us top 8. It doesn't guarantee us top 8. So, is it worth it to go balls to the wall to win this game? Is it worth it to go hard, full strength, try to get the goal difference back, if all of that effort only results in basically nothing? I don't know. That's what I'm considering here. Because if you look at the table, if you guys can see it, I know it's a little bit small, but we're sitting 11th. We're even on points with Newcastle all the way up to 6th. 6th through 13th, all of 13 points. However, the goal difference, we're really not going to catch, much here. We're at +4. We can maybe catch Sporting. We should pass Sporting if we both win. If they play Athletic Club. We could potentially beat them, beat Gallup by 2 and they only win by 1, or we win by 3, something like that. I don't know. We actually need to beat them by 2. 2 more goals won by than they win their game by. We would pass them. Newcastle, PSG play each other, so if we win, we catch one of them. Then you're up to 9th, and then you're looking at maybe Spurs drop points. Maybe Spurs draw Frankfurt, and we're in. But then you have to concern yourselves with Madrid. They have Bodo Glimt, who obviously are amazing now. Who knows what happens there? You have Atalanta, who play Union Saint Gilloy, however you say that. Union Saint Gilloy. Jeez. No way I got that right. Inter on 12, so, it's really difficult to see how we could get top 8 without a lot of help. To be clear, I like Husanov. He will just require a lot of patience. I agree. I like him a lot, and I think he will get there. It just depends on how long he's willing to wait, because he might wait a bit based on the center backs we have. Yes, we need a big win, says Teal. Also, Trent, best years with Matip by his side. That guy wasn't much faster than Diaz. That's true. But was Trent as far up the pitch as he would be with City? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Our playoff fixtures are easier. My understanding is that Viana has made contact with Coyote's representatives. Coyote I like also. I've heard very good things from the chat on Coyote. I don't really watch Brentford. I don't watch Coyote highlights on YouTube. So I don't know, but people say he's good. I'm going to support any player wearing our shirt. I just think it's disappointing to see unfair treatment of players. Agree. I don't like seeing the unfair treatment. Personally, I would go full strength. It's not like we need to win 5-0. A 3-goal difference would be good. If PSG beat Newcastle draw, we get ahead of both. Sure, if they did draw, surely PSG win that, though. You got to assume PSG win that. I think the best hope is potentially Spurs drawing against Frankfurt, and then maybe Chelsea draw Napoli. That's a tough one. Napoli are a decent side. KDB could help us out if he wasn't injured. I don't know. Our midfield needs serious improvement in the summer. We need another playmaker alongside Cherokee. Hoos has the highest ceiling of our center backs, but he has the most work to do to get to that ceiling. Yeah, he's more raw. He more relies on his physical traits that he's just blessed with. The pace and the speed and the strength, and if he gets it mentally, could be mega. Yeah, great point. I think Husa is much better than Lewis and Elaine. I mean, I don't think anyone's debating that, really. I don't think anyone's saying Rico's better than Husa, and Elaine has been here for 5 minutes. I feel like everyone kind of agrees Husanov is good enough to be playing, and these two are somewhat questionable. What is the FOTMob team here? The predicted lineup for FOTMob, well, it's wrong because Gay can't play and Semenyo can't play. But other than that, there's no Rodri as well. I don't want to see Reinders in a lone 6 situation. I'm not interested in that. House captain agrees. I don't know. This you can't really take this for much because this is not it. He has just played 2 full seasons in Europe. Yeah, he's very young. Let's do a lineup for Galatasaray. I really don't think there's much between Hoos and Elaine. I mean, I like Elaine. I'm happy to see Elaine play tomorrow or Wednesday, but I would say pecking order-wise, I trust Husanov a little bit more just because I've seen it a bit longer. But I do agree. I think Elaine is very good. He's much better than I had anticipated him being. Gonzalez might be back. This is true. There's rumors that he's okay and might be playing on... I don't like how that looks. Let's move this over a bit. There we go. So, I think we can all probably agree Donnarumma plays. I mean, I guess maybe Trafford plays, but Donnarumma probably plays this one. Right back, I think Nunez is the obvious choice there. Husanov is going to play. Then you have the discussion between Elaine and Ake. Which option do you do? What do you do at the left-sided center back? Obviously, it'd be great to play Gahey, but you cannot. And I don't think you can play Nico O'Reilly at left back without Nico Gonzalez here, because Nico O'Reilly will be the center mid, the DCDM, if Nico G is unfit. So, I don't know. This is where it gets squirrely a bit. As a celebratory point, Vitor Hayes scored a goal at the death to earn a draw for Girona today. I was watching the game. Vitor Hayes was solid in the game, and he scored a nice header to get the draw. Very happy. Echeverri also played a bit for Girona. He came on in like the 70th minute, maybe, I remember. So, yeah. Do a result predictor for UCL. What does that mean? What is a result predictor? What is a result predictor? Like, is there a website where I can do that? Ake would be the left-sided center back, you think? Maybe. I think I prefer Elaine, personally, to Ake. Just like, if you're picking for one game at this point. Like, move that over there. But I don't know. I could be convinced either way. Reinders is a luxury player. Pep wanted Gibbs White for a reason. Gibbs White is much more of like an engine type player. I was never really big on the Gibbs White thing, but I don't know. I feel like Reinders has it in him to be a solid player. Ake had a full week rest. It's on the UCL official website. Ooh. We could do that. Let me finish this lineup, and then we'll do the UCL predictor to see what we think. I think it's either Elaine or Ake. Chad is saying Ake, so we can do Ake for now. And I don't know if Nico G will be fit to start. Maybe he's fit to come off the bench. So in that case, I think you're going to get an Ait-Nouri left back situation with Nico O'Reilly in the defensive midfield. Pep basically serenaded Bernardo in his interview the other day, talking about how much he loves him and how much he sleeps better when he plays. So I think it's fair to say Bernardo will play this game. Who is your attacking mid that, is right in front of these two? It's probably Tijani, probably, because you might want Cherokee for the right wing. You might want Foden for right wing. I don't think you do Foden, Cherokee both starting, probably. The left side, you go with either Doku or Marmoush, and up top you go with Holland or Marmoush, probably. I think Marmoush is likely a guaranteed start. I think. If I could spell. I think he starts. Whether that's the left or the striker, I don't know. You guys want Cherokee in there? Ait-Nouri versus Sane is going to be fire. Jeez, man. I wonder how Sane's been doing. Unfortunately, as a Gala fan, we are basically 99% in a playoff spot, so we won't be coming to the Etihad with much motivation. Rio. Well, welcome to the stream, Galatasaray fan. How have you guys been this year? I have not watched Galatasaray play much. Let us know in the chat how the former City players have been. Sane, Gundogan specifically. Well, of course, those guys we have a lot of love in our hearts for those guys, especially Gundo and, Sane is almost like a cult hero type, but Gundogan is like legend status for us, obviously. Foden attacking mid, I would guess. Is that what you guys want? Foden did not start the last game against Wolves, so he is rested. Maybe he can play a bit, something like this. You could go Doku out on the left, and then you could go Cherokee on the right, which I don't know if I want the Cherokee-Foden combo. I don't know. City are in poor form too. Hey, to be fair, Teal, we did just beat Wolves. So technically we're on, unbeaten in the last one. Foden 10, Cherokee right wing, Omar left, Holland striker. You guys would play Holland for this one? I feel like I would rest Holland for this game. I feel like I would rest them. Just because the Spurs game is more important than this one, based on our odds to get top 8. I feel like it's better if Haaland doesn't start this one. Also, Omar just got man of the match. Surely he starts. Galatasaray been hit and miss like City. They defeated Liverpool. Oh yeah, I do remember that. Sane has 13 GA this season, all comps. Sane's good, man. I love that guy. I was so sad when he left. Done well in the UCL. Gundogan has been on the bench mainly, but Sane has been amazing. Our best player. Better than Osimhen. Wow. Shout out to Leroy Sane, man. Sane and Semenyo would be our West wingers. Our best wingers, I'm guessing you meant. Probably true, man. Sane is so good. He is class. I remember when he was at Schalke and he scored against us. I think he scored a free kick against us, and then he scored a free kick for us against Schalke as well. Man, what a guy. I loved Leroy Sane. One of my favorite players to watch. I think... Is this fair? Is this a fair lineup? Based on form and everything? Like, Tijani I would maybe start, but he wasn't very good against Wolves. He wasn't very good. I think Haaland will demand to start in the UCL. He loves it. Just look at his record. If you start Haaland, I'm also starting Marmoush. Marmoush is starting on this left, and I'm just not starting Doku then. That's what I would do. We can do that. I kind of lean toward benching Haaland, though, guys. I can't lie. Because the importance of the Premier League to me. If Haaland goes against Galatasaray. What? You're not going to play him against Spurs? He might have a bad game, but I don't think that actually means anything, really. Sané was bang average at Bayern, got his dream move and fell off a cliff. He wanted to be like the German star boy, man, and it's difficult. It's hard to make it at Bayern when there's all the big German Donnies are there. It's difficult. City's odds go up the more goals they score, so we wouldn't want to rest Haaland. If City win 4-0, their odds go up to 90% plus. I think Doku has a niggle. If Doku has a niggle, which, by the way, is one of the worst terms. You guys have the worst terms for injuries. Niggle, knock. Like, just say what it is. Just say he has a contusion or a bruise. Like, use real doctor words. Niggle is crazy to me as an American. I know that everyone says it, and everyone says knock, but, like, where's the detail? Where's the attention to detail from these Europeans who just say words that could mean anything? It bugs me. It bugs me a little bit. That's my rant on that. Haaland has been poo for more than a month. Need to get it together. I would agree. Partly, I think that's because of the amount of minutes we just hammed out Erling Haaland, which is unfortunate, and we should have managed better, and that's on Pep. It's an incredible knock. Exactly. What does that mean, man? The point is to be vague. I hate how vague it is. I hate it. It makes me so angry. I would like specifics, please. You guys, man. We've had this discussion on stream before, I think, but let me pull up the what about incredible knock, wicked large knock. You guys, man. Let me see if I can find this UCL. What was it? UCL predictor result simulator. Do I select who wins, or does it sim who wins? And then we're like, oh, okay, this is what happened. I don't know. All right, I'm on the UCL website. Here. Vague brings in more views and clicks. Yeah, but, like, medically, shouldn't it be, like, law to announce what injury you have? Here in America, there's an injury report, and it's very specific. It says, knee contusion, limited participant in practice, questionable for the game on Sunday. Like, we don't get any of that. We get nothing, man. Okay. See what this looks like. If I do this. I'm going to need to make this smaller here. There we go. Okay. So, I would guess PSG win. Like, 2-0. Tosif, yo, what's up? How are you? Maybe 3-0, 2-0, something like that. Let's, for argument's sake, say City win this match. 2-0, conservatively. Liverpool will probably win against Karabag, whoever that is. Shout out to Tosif, man. Always very active in the Discord, Tosif. So, you know, your participation is always valued. Thank you, thank you. This website is so slow, guys. This is terrible. I would say this might be a draw. Dortmund and Inter. A 1-1, potentially. Liverpool probably 3-1 this thing. Do you think Omar Marmoush would start against Galatasaray? We do think, yeah, Marmoush must start. Tulsi, if you just missed our lineup there, we have Marmoush in and Holland. We're going strong. Barcelona probably win this one pretty significantly. 3-0, something like that. Arsenal will probably win this one pretty easily. Leverkusen and Villarreal. Villarreal dropping down in 35th position. Pretty terrible. So, let's say 2-0 for them. Atleti and Bodo. Bodo are big time, guys. We can't take Bodo lightly anymore. Bodo are a serious team. They'll score a goal. But probably 3-1, something like that. Maybe Benfica get a goal, but I would expect a Madrid win. Like a 2-1 type situation. Maybe. This one I think is a draw. I think this is a draw. A 1-1. Potentially. Marmoush leaves in the summer, just like Alvarez. Hopefully he doesn't. I don't know, guys. I don't know if Marmoush leaves in the summer. I could see it, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'll say Marseille will win this one. 2-1 or something. Bayern will smoke PSV, probably. Bayern are good. Bayern are very good. Olympiacos, Ajax. Maybe like a 1-1, something like that. I don't know, guys. I don't think Marmoush is going to leave, me personally. Are you willing that on? Yeah, do you want him to leave, Teal? If Pep keeps benching him, he's going. Bayern, Tottenham, Villa, all linked to Marmoush. I just don't think it's happening. I think Savinho is much more likely to leave, guys. At Napoli. This is at Napoli, right? This game? Surely Napoli will score. Maybe Chelsea will also score. 1-1 type deal. Monaco, Juve. I mean, I would say Juve probably win that. 2-0, something like that. Atalanta probably smoke these guys. Atalanta are pretty good. 2-3, something like that. Athletic Club and Sporting. Maybe it's at Athletic Club Bilbao. Maybe like a 2-1 type deal. I don't know. And then this one doesn't make any difference on anything. So we'll give it to Slavia Praha. Personally, I don't buy into the overplayed thing. Look at Mbappe, Rice, Elise, Kane. And they run much more. Kind of a fair point. I don't know that I really buy into the overplayed thing as well. I think Haaland just... Maybe it's mental fatigue. I don't know, man. I don't know. I kind of agree, Gold Drips. I do think the overplayed thing is run, but Pep said it himself. So, I don't know. Savinho is the one who should leave. I tend to agree. I would like him to stay, but he was already linked with the move this month. It's only a matter of time. Savinho's not leaving. Pep likes him. Why didn't Man City take the 70 from Spurs? I don't know. Union are actually a good team. They could upset Atalanta, says Louis. Really? I don't even know what country they're from. We'll give him another goal. How about a two goals? I don't know. For the time being, the only way Savio leaves the club is if the club forces him out. He loves the club and is desperate to make it work. Spartacus would know, guys. He is Brazilian, and he's personally best friends with Savio. I'm pretty sure. So, Spartacus says, and it is truth. He ain't starting ahead of Doku and Semenyo. I wouldn't start. I would potentially start Savinho at times over Doku, but not over Semenyo. Semenyo's fantastic. I love him already. Soriano hates Daniel Levy, who is gone, by the way. Levy no longer works at the club, so maybe. Not that fictional $70 million from Spurs again. Hey, I know everybody online says, what $70 million? What $70 million? There was no bid. Nothing ever happened. Listen, guys. This is my take on this. Spurs call up City. Hey, we're interested in Savinho. What do you think? And we're willing to go pretty big. And then City are like, no, we're not doing this deal. We don't do deals with you. Whatever. And then Spurs leak this out into the media. We'll pay up to $70 million. And then City are like, don't care. We're not doing this. Spurs are like, yeah, but we'll do 70. We'll maybe even go past 70. And then City are like, don't care. Doesn't matter. We're not taking any deal from you whatsoever. So Spurs never send the bid in. But don't lie to me and say Spurs were not willing to spend money to buy Savinho. But City were the ones who said, no, we're not doing any business. We're not speaking to you. So to me, it is irrelevant if there was a bid or no bid because City 100% said, we are not doing this deal. We don't care what you bid. We're not doing anything. So Spurs were like, all right, fine. We'll do something else. We'll do something else. That's my take on it. Maybe there was no bid. Maybe the 70 mil is fake. However, City did not negotiate at all with them. So don't say that, oh, City just, they got the bid and they declined it and that's how it went. Like, no. City were the ones who did not want this deal to happen. If they wanted the money, they could have taken this. They could have done a deal with Spurs, but they didn't want to deal with Daniel Levy. So I do somewhat blame City on that one, on that deal. And maybe they think he's going to be amazing, and that's why they didn't take it. But all this, Spurs thing being totally fake, I don't believe at all. No way do I believe that there was no way a deal was happening. It's because City didn't want it to happen. Which is fine. That's City's prerogative. They don't want to do it. They don't do it. Cool. No problems. But, again, if they wanted to sell him, they totally could have sold him. Sorry, rant over. I know some people very close to Savio. I'm not his personal best friend, but I also played against him. See, I think you are his personal best friend. I was kind of kidding, but I know what I mean. That was BS. If you love the club, you will talk with Spurs and agree personal terms. Spartacus, do you know Rodrigo? Will he come to see? Oh, well. Spurs never intended to pay 70. Fair enough, but City also shut it down. Because you're a City fan, he said no. Spurs will not call if they don't had green light from the player. Potentially. Rajak, one day when we are backstage together, I'll tell you what happened. Ooh, guys. Big up Spartacus, guys. I gotta get on a Mancunian Way show with Spartacus at some point. That'd be awesome. Just so I have the knowledge. And then I can't tell anyone because it was told to me in confidence. I wouldn't be that guy to break the trust of my good friend Spartacus. I couldn't do that to him. Very cool. Anyway, did we go through with my predictions here? We did. Guys, we got to play the full team. We're going through. All we have to do is win 2-0 over Galatasaray, and we're through. And then every other result that I predicted, we're through. In 7th. On what is that? Goal difference is 6. Atleti could pass us potentially if they smoke Bodo, who are very good, very big, impressive team. Bodo Glimt can never take them lightly, ever. Bodo, very good. Sorry, guys. Sorry, yeah. I got on a semi-rant there, but... Man. So we could do this. What results matter? The Spurs thing is very big, obviously. If Spurs win, what if we change it to a Spurs win? What happens? Spurs win. We drop to 8th. Spurs go up to 5th. Okay? And then other results notably are Chelsea. What did I do with Chelsea? A draw. A draw. Okay, that's doable. A Napoli-Chelsea draw is doable. However, Chelsea kind of look nice lately. I don't think Cole Palmer's back, though. If Chelsea do win, that should knock us out, I would think. Okay. So we need to hope for a Spurs draw or loss, a Chelsea draw or loss, and then what? It doesn't really matter with PSG and Newcastle because a draw, we go past both of them. A win, we go past one. Doesn't really make a difference. And surely PSG beat Newcastle. There's no way. So, maybe it's a little bit more likely than I had anticipated, to be honest, based on those results. So, yeah, it's doable. It's doable. It's doable, guys. Will it happen? I don't know. Is that lineup good enough to get it done? I think probably. I think probably that lineup is good enough to get it done. However, Galatasaray, you know what? I didn't check. Where would Galatasaray be in this? They would be, even if they lose, they're down to 20th. So, maybe they don't have much to play for. Because they're on 10 points. Olympiacos winning puts them on 9. So, they're, basically through. That guy in the chat was right. Crazy the media is pushing this Rodrigo move. Never got the feeling Rodrigo actually wants to play for City, just like Schwartz. I don't know. I feel like Rodrigo potentially wanted to play, but he didn't want to leave Madrid either. I don't know. Who knows? 2-0. I'm saying 4 or 5-1 for us. Jeez. 4 or 5-1. We don't even have Rodri or Nico G potentially. I'm a little nervous. I can't lie. No Gehi, no Semenyo. I like the confidence, Louis, but I am a bit, I don't know. PSG lost to Sporting. Did they really? PSG are good though. We know it's the UCL. PSG are going to show up. I'm not concerned about PSG. The last time Newcastle went to Paris, they were not bad at all. Yeah, but they were way better last year. And they had Isak, right? Didn't they have Isak last year? Newcastle are trash, man. Newcastle are... I shouldn't say they're trash. I should not say they're trash. That's maybe harsh from me. They are horrible away from home. That's what I meant to say. We can get it done. I do think so, yeah. Rodrigo was the biggest flip-flopper. Bad decision against them. That is true. VAR screwed them. They should have beat PSG and then gone through in the group. I do remember that. But they also had Isak back then, and they have obviously downgraded from Isak. I don't know. Newcastle's kind of a weird one, guys. Newcastle's kind of weird. All right. We are approaching the hour mark. I do think it'll be good to get everyone's take about the Premier League title race as well. That's obviously something fun to discuss because Arsenal, man. Arsenal. What is going on with you guys? You just when I think we're out of it, they just pull us back in, man. And it's honestly, it's not even due to the amazing football Man City play. It's the haramball that Arsenal play. That's the crazier thing to me, is that we're in this title race, not even to our own, good work. Not even to our own, wow, we've played so well, we're in a title race. It's Arsenal have just dropped points and let us right back in. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy to think about this title race situation. I'm pulling up the table here. Look at this. Where is it? Right here. Oh, man, again. There we go. How is this the form of the top 2 teams in the league? 2 wins in 5. 1 win in 5. What is going on with the form at this table, man? Last 5 matches. City are 15th. Arsenal are 4th, which actually is not that bad. But, still. We're 4 points back. Where's Villa? 9th. Mid-table in the last 5. It's insane. Hope Newcastle don't beat us at the Etihad. Well, they could beat us 1-0 and we still go through. I think Nico G will get an injection and play 60 minutes. Jeez. An injection for this game. I don't know about that. We should play Trent in midfield if we get him. I think inverted right back potentially. If we win our next 2 fixtures, there's hope, but I'm not getting giddy. Teal, don't worry. You're not normally one I would expect to get giddy. That's okay. I figured. Arsenal's attack is dreadful. It is pretty dreadful. It is pretty dreadful. All right, Silvio Dante. I posted this exact meme, Keely, on Twitter. Great scene, by the way, from The Sopranos. An unreal scene. I'm happy somebody picked up on it. So shout out to Keely for knowing Silvio Dante and the scene that I'm referencing. Can't discount Villa. I wouldn't discount Villa, but like, look at their goal difference. That says to me they're squeaking by. 35-25, whereas these two giant clubs are at 47-21, 42-17. It feels like they're probably not going to be there. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Great scene, great scene. We're consistently inconsistent. True. Unfortunately, very true. My personal, if we are 3 or less points when we played them at home, then I will say we are in the title race. Yes? Sorry, guys. My wife is checking on me. She wants me to finish. So we can wrap this stream up. I'm just discussing our points here in terms of the Premier League title. It's on, guys. It's on. It's on like Donkey Kong. I don't mean to overcook our position here, but 4 points with, 15 games? That's totally on. Especially if we beat them at home. We beat them. It's 1 point. You're telling me we can't make up a 1 point difference? Premier League is on. My most used gift. Very nice. Very nice. Victor Gyökeres has 0 non-penalty goals in the last 11. My bad. I was looking at the wrong chat. Bukayo Saka 0 in all 11. All 13 comps. Yeah, guys. Arsenal are crazy. I was on Judge Mo, by the way. I was on Judge Mo. And I said, these draws here were not good results. A 0-0 to Forest when City lose. You win that game, it's over. It's over. That's not a good result. A 0-0 against crap Liverpool, not a good result. And everyone was like, what can you expect us to do? We're Arsenal. You want us to get 101 points. That's the only way to give us credit. I'm like, guys, how can you not beat Forest? Forest are in 17th place. They're 5 points off relegation. A draw there is not good. When City lose, we lost. You could have gone 9 clear. Surely that's not a good result. And everyone was like, that's a good result. We'll take the draw. So I don't know what these Arsenal fans are. Their mentality, I don't get it. They love a draw. It's so odd. Ideally, we beat them and win the Prem, but that's impossible. That's not necessarily impossible. Martinelli, no goal. Tausif fan is dropping the Sky Sports graph that I saw the other day. Noni Madueke, no goals. It's on until we lose this weekend and save Thomas Frank's job. No, we will win this weekend. Trossard 1 goal, yes. Only relying on set pieces and own goals. It is very strange, guys. It is very, very strange the way Arsenal play. Because I think if they just played like attacking football, they would be good as well. I don't really get the like odd style they implement. It's strange. I don't really get it personally. But I do think it's fair to say the title race is back on. And also we are cautiously optimistic going into these next few games. Because they're big games. Obviously they're big games. Spurs and Liverpool. You win both. We'll see where we're at. Might still be 4 points back. But you get through the Spurs and the Liverpool game with 6 points. That's incredible. That's incredible. Even if you draw this Liverpool game and it's back to 6, I still think it's on. I still think it's probably on. Which is why I'm a little nervous about going ham for this Galatasaray game, personally. Because we got to win this Spurs game. We drop points in this Spurs game and it'll just be like deflation, city everywhere. I'm not looking forward to our next 3 games. They are kind of, next 4 all are kind of tough. But in 2 weeks, we'll know. We'll know for sure. Whenever we play Spurs, they always do black magic against us. Okay, guys. Anyway, those are my thoughts. It's on tentatively. We need the Spurs and Liverpool big results. It's on temporarily. Beating Wolves doesn't mean anything. It means 3 points. It means 3 points. What do you mean? Galatasaray could be difficult. I mean, it probably will. Don't overlook Villa's input. But I don't think I'm necessarily overlooking Villa's input, but guys, I would be shocked if they stayed in this title race. Like, I understand they're there, but they're only plus 10 on goal difference. Chelsea have a better goal difference than them. You know? Like, I don't think they have the depth, guys. Forgot about Newcastle? Oh, yeah. Anyway, that's my initial feelings at the moment. I'm happy with where we're at as long as we win on Saturday. I'm happy. I'm very happy as long as we win on Saturday. Anyway, we have hit the hour mark. So as always, I need to plug the Ryjack Discord. If you guys want to join, click the link right there in the chat. It'll take you to Discord. You join it. It's free. It's a bunch of City bros just chopping it up, hanging out, talking about City every day. If you want to join it, it is free. Go ahead and join it. If you are new as well, hit subscribe. Very appreciate any new subs. We're going for 1,000 on the channel, as well as liking the video. Liking the video helps a ton as well. So I do appreciate you guys. Of course, the last couple of chats here, and then we'll wrap it up. Imagine City versus Villa last day of the season. Whoever wins the title. 21-22 all over again. Jeez. The depth City has over Villa and Arsenal in the more vital positions will be the deciding factor. I kind of agree. I do tend to agree that. I know where to start at left back. I would say yes. Nico O'Reilly in midfield probably. Big up Ryjack. Cheers for a great, calm show as usual. I do try to be calm, guys. I know I got a little heated with that Spurs-Savinho thing, but I try to be reasonable, calm streamer for you guys because I'm not the, get on here and scream and shout. That's not really my personality. I try to be more fun, love, easygoing, funny, entertaining. So big up, guys. Appreciate it. A loss against Spurs doesn't affect the title race too much since Arsenal will most definitely lose more games. I mean, I would like a win. I would like a win, guys. I would like a win. That'd be fantastic. Anyway, I'll be back when there's either some transfer news or post the Galatasaray game because I'm not streaming the game. I'll be at work, unfortunately, but I will watch and I'll stream post game. So anyway, thank you guys as always. Do appreciate it. I will see you in the next one. Yes, I do have a dog. For those asking. I do. She's barking.